Hello, everyone, and welcome to our first Tiger Eye Talk of 2025. I'm so happy you have joined us. My guest here with me today is Kathleen Vicenzotti. I probably still did not say that correctly, but
You said it perfect. You said it perfect.
so glad to have Kathleen here with me today. We have been connected for quite some time and scheduled this quite some time ago as well. So I'm super happy for her to be here with me and share with you today. I'm going to introduce Kathleen with a few descriptions of her, and then I'm going to hand it over to her and let her share with you all the good stuff that she does and provides and how she helps the people she works with. So, with over 35 years of expertise in sales, marketing, and leadership, Kathleen has dedicated her career to empowering individuals in commission based, results driven fields. She has held executive roles at Ford Motor Company, excelled as a top producing State Farm insurance agent, and led high achieving teams with the direct selling industry. Currently, Kathleen is the co owner of JAK Concrete Coasting in Long Beach, California, and co owner of the Selling Edge, a sales training and development company. Her passion lies in equipping professionals with the income intelligence they need to generate consistent income, build strong client bases, achieve financial security, and create the life they envision. That is amazing, Kathleen, and welcome to Tiger Eye Talk.
Oh my goodness, Lisa, this is such a pleasure. Thank you so much for inviting me to share with you. I know you only do this once a month, so I'm very privileged to be talking to you on one of those 12 slots for the year. But I'm so grateful to kick off the new year, 2025. And
Absolutely.
just like you mentioned in my bio, working with a lot of independent business owners like yourself
Yes.
who are out there, uh, you know, building their vision of reality and their dream so that they can support their family or live the life that they desire with the freedom and flexibility to kind of work life on their own terms.
That's awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
So, a little more specifically, how exactly do you help those that you work with?
Oh, that's such a great question, Lisa. I help in a couple ways. So I offer a free workshop every month. And matter of fact, this is a new workshop for 2025, and we have them scheduled throughout the year. And they are designed specifically for individuals who are either commission based, dependent on results for their paycheck. Maybe they own their own business and they're driving their income and they're dependent on sales and results to get paid. And so this free workshop I have is a over 2 days. It's 2 days where we kind of break down the high income skill sets that you need to focus your time and energy and attention on so that you can actually maximize your income by, working less and earning more. One of the ways I help my clients is helping them identify their sales process and help them create metrics in business data to show them where to focus their time and energy, because not all sales are created equal. And
Okay.
as you know, if you're in a business or a commission based field, some products have higher commissions, some have higher returns, some products have repeat referral business. And so
Yes.
what I do is I help them strategically look at their business and identify which of their products are most profitable for them and where they can earn and unlock the greatest commission. In direct sales, it might be their personal selling, it might be sponsoring. In an insurance office, it might be adding new households and taking a look at the fundamental products they offer. But what products line is it? Life, accident, health, home and auto, where they can really maximize what they're earning and help them structure their activities to do that. And so the workshop really helps people also understand their customer better so that they can be more efficient and effective in their business. So we do some training on using personality, using buying behaviors, selling strategies, so that you can really connect with your customer on a level where you can unlock that yes and avoid the no in shorter time, like how you can build that like, know, and trust factor. And then how you also can leverage that interaction to future sales and future things. So we have a whole program that we go through and we break down the systems to really just optimize your business, your daily routine, so that you're really focusing on the things that are going to unlock the most income and drive your business forward. Because it's different than a paycheck, right? People who, have you ever worked in like a traditional W-2 setting?
I have. I definitely have.
Same. I have too. And then making that transition, like so many people right now are either starting their own businesses, adding side gigs, or really want to break free from that W-2 structure. And, having stepped into this commission only base or the side gig base, there truly are ways that you can work smarter and not harder. And so my passion is don't make the same mistakes I made. You have to be disciplined. It's a lot different when, that paycheck is coming in every week and, your boss or the corporate structure is giving you your responsibilities and duties and accountability. But when you're on your own, it's a whole different ballgame. So I really want to help people like not only understand the data, the business side of it, but then also you asked how I help them. I also do coaching so people can work with me one-on-one for either short periods of times to set up systems to keep them accountable, or if somebody wants continuous coaching and development to help them elevate their performance to the next level. I also have programs that I work with individuals one-on-one and teams.
Very, very good. How long have you been an entrepreneur?
Oh my goodness. Probably since I was in high school, right? Like, or, like as a kid selling Girl Scout cookies. I don't know. I almost feel like my whole adult life, I started actually as an entrepreneur officially by when I joined the direct selling industry. I was working for Ford Motor Company at the time, and I was a marketing sales manager for them. I was a train the trainer where I would work with sales professionals in dealerships on how they could sell more vehicles so that I, as the factory representative, could sell backfill vehicles into the dealership. So my job was to help dealers increase their sales and business. This was my first job right out of college. And then I was at a jewelry party, and, the girl who was hosting the party was talking about how she makes extra income, selling jewelry, and she earns all these trips and all these fun things. And I'm sitting there thinking, I have a good job. I have a great paycheck. I love what I do. But, I didn't have money to travel to Europe or earn incentive trips. I was very intrigued. So I stepped into the world of direct selling to earn an incentive trip. And then that was like my first taste of entrepreneurship. And I always knew that I craved the freedom and flexibility of, working on my own terms, my own schedule. At Ford, I was very fortunate that, I had a sales and training role. So I was in a lot of different environments. It was very dynamic. I was meeting a lot of different people. So it did give me that flexibility. However, there was a time when I switched roles and went to the Ford Motor Credit side. And it was more of a corporate role where I was in a desk, sitting from 8 to 5. And I'll never forget coming into work. I'd probably been there a couple weeks or something. And it was quite of a drive. I had to go to the office, which was new for me because prior to that, I'd always been driving around to different dealers and, I kind of had my own schedule. And I'll never forget the supervisor. I walked in like 5 after 8 and our time started at like 8 o'clock, and I got scolded for coming in at like 5 after 8. And I'm like looking at him like, what are you talking about? Like, and once that happened, I said, you know what? I don't think
this is not for me.
The structure is for me. And so, with some deliberation, I actually ended up, I lasted probably about a good year. And I had my direct sales business on the side. And I actually, after my daughter was born and I realized, this corporate structure was not for me, and I wanted to be home with my daughter, I ended up resigning from that, really great job with an amazing company. And, I did love the job. I just didn't like the lifestyle, I would leave super early in the morning, have to come home late at night, fight traffic, locked in the building all day. I really did. I missed the freedom and flexibility to be home with my family and see the things that, mattered as my daughter was growing up. So I actually jumped into direct selling full time.
Awesome.
and built a multi-million-dollar business from my living room. I led one of the top producing teams for the company I was at, and did that for many years, for over a decade. And then I was approached by State Farm Insurance to open a State Farm agency in our area. We had a new market, and at the time I was like, yeah, no, I'm not really that interested in that, but I'll meet you for coffee and I might know some people I could refer you to. And next thing you know, I realized that having an insurance agency was very similar to what I had been doing in direct sales. It was actually direct sales to individuals, right, but you were selling insurance products. And I could manage a team of independent sellers who could also earn income by selling to customers. So I ended up starting a State Farm agency. So that's kind of how my path into entrepreneurship. And once you get a taste of that, and you get a taste of that, not only the freedom, the flexibility, the creative experience, the opportunity to be involved in all aspects of the business, to experience the thrill of the success, but also, overcome the obstacles that come with it. It was just very, for me, I really needed that challenge. I really needed that environment to thrive. And I really love things dynamic, and I really love things that are fast moving and ever changing and problem solving. And, being an entrepreneur really allows my creative side. I'm also very creative. I love anything crafty. Like if you follow me on Instagram, you might see me making a cake or making cookies or doing a craft project. Like I just really love that creative aspect. And I really think being an entrepreneur allows me also to tap into that creative side that
that's awesome.
that I really love.
So what is the most important lesson you've learned over your career as an entrepreneur?
The most important lesson that I've learned, that's a really good question. I'm going to have to remember that one for future. Oh gosh, so many lessons. But if I had to pick one, mine would be to take time as an entrepreneur to slow down and take time to plan and work on your business, not just in your business. Like to really take time to invest, either weekly or daily. What are the most important things in my business that I need to put my time and attention on to get me to the next level? I would say, to just really make sure that you take time to have systems in place that are going to help you drive your business forward. Because I think one of the things that happens to entrepreneurs is we get caught in what I like to call like the spin cycle. So many things are happening and you're working in your business and there's so many demands on your time that it's very hard to take a step back.
Sure.
And look at ways to optimize your business and really analyze and prioritize where you're putting your energy. And I think that's a really big lesson that entrepreneurs really need to understand and identify where they need to focus their time and energy. And then also, just to kind of back that up, that will then open up opportunities for you to look at like what systems do you need in place to support those activities. And then, once you have that, what resources do you need to
absolutely
to drive that. So that's important.
What's your favorite productivity hack for entrepreneurs?
Favorite productivity hack? Outsource it. No.
Yes,
right. That's right. People like you. We need people like you. Like, favorite productivity hack is just calendar control. Like really calendar blocking and making sure that you're blocking in the things that need to get done to move your business. But and when you are focused on something, one of the biggest things, if you haven't read the book called Stolen Focus, I got to figure out who the author is, but he talks about the distractions and how, our society is ever evolving into faster, more technology, more information, that our brains can't keep up with the demands, and that we're actually losing our ability to concentrate and focus and to be productive. That we think multitasking is a way to be more productive, but really what I'm discovering, we're not computers, and you really, when you multitask, you really are slowing down your productivity because you're either
Sure.
making mistakes or your brain is switching from one thing to the next. You're not as effective. So one of the things that I've been really trying to work on is when I'm sitting down at my desk, turn off my notifications on my desktop, turn off my notifications on my phone. Don't even look at the text messages or emails that come in. Just literally turn them off so that I could just be really productive on what I'm working on. And again, just knowing what those activities need to be, and really setting boundaries to say no. Because I think as somebody who's self-employed or an entrepreneur, if you're a sales professional, I think we find ourselves chasing things
All the
and putting
time.
our energies into things because we're just not clear on, we want that next sale, we don't, but we really need to know where our energy needs to go. Because again, I shared at the beginning, not all sales are created equal. It's the same thing. Like, not all leads are created equal. Not all opportunities are created equal. You really need to understand, who are your highest converting audiences, who are your highest revenue generating clients or products, and really just putting your energies in the things that are going to give you the greatest return so you can be more productive overall.
Awesome. What is your biggest pet peeve?
What is my biggest pet peeve? Wow. See, I'm pretty laid back, so I don't have too many things that.
Well, that's good. That's good.
No, I don't. What really annoys me is when people don't follow. Like, one of my biggest pet peeve is do what you say you're going to do, and don't, do what you say you're going to do, follow through. But a big pet peeve too, I guess, now that you say that, as I'm thinking about this, I really hate it when people don't respond to emails or outreaches. Like, being in sales, obviously you have a lot of cold calling or emails, but one of my biggest pet peeves is when professionals just ignore emails or don't even give you an acknowledgement or a response to a question or an email. If somebody's not interested, just reply back, hey, thanks, I appreciate you reaching out. This isn't a good time, not interested, or I appreciate you thinking of me, but it's just not a good fit for me right now, or I'm just not in the space to identify with this right now. Just respond.
Yeah.
Just, some common courtesy. I guess that would be one of my biggest pet peeves.
Well, who are the 3 most influential people in your life, and how did they impact you and your career choice?
Wow. So I would have to say that one of the 3 most influential, first I would have to say, like, my parents, like my mom and dad. And it's very interesting too, when you look at my parents, because they're both very different. My dad was always my biggest cheerleader and fan, and his whole, there were 2 things that I remember that I think really shaped me, is that, he always said you could do anything you want, just be willing to pay the price. Like, you can do anything you want. If you can live with the consequences, just know the cost of it. But if there's anything you want, you could do it. So, like, he was always like that type of a visionary. Like, you can do it, just know that it's going to come at a cost and a price, and be willing to pay it. The other thing was, there's a lot of assholes in the world. Just don't be one. Excuse my language. But like, when it comes to that, so he was always that. My mom always gave me the roots of, like, the foundation of just being a good person, like a good human, like treat other people as you would like to be treated, always send thank you notes, always, chip in and help, always be the last to eat, like if you're serving, so I feel like from leadership that, like, it's a really good combination. Like, my dad gave me the confidence to say, hey, you can do this. As long as you can live with the worst case scenario, or you're willing to pay the price, you can get it done. And my mom really gave me the fundamentals of, how to treat others and really lead with service. So I'd say, like, I can kind of put them as one. The second, I would have to say, it's really hard, like, influential. When I was in college, I had a mentor friend who was my resident director. And, again, he taught me the power of suggestion, that, like, hey, well, why don't you do this? You can do this. And, I was like, I think a sophomore, and he's like, you could be the class president and deliver the commencement address at college. And, and you could be a dorm director like me, and you could do all that. And I'm like, really? And next thing you know, I was a dorm director as a senior, which never happens. Usually it's a grad student. And, our dorm director resigned halfway through the year. So as a senior, I became the dorm director. I was the president of the class. I gave the commencement address at school, so the power of suggestion and the power of just belief and just
believe in yourself
can really impact other people's lives by
Yes.
helping them see things in themselves that they don't see themselves, like helping them see the things you see in them. And so I'd have to say, he probably doesn't know that Ed Greenway is his name. So, hey, Ed, if you're watching, that was a pivotal point. And then I would have to have the third most influential mentor, in my business career would be Mary McIntyre, the woman who sponsored me into the direct selling industry.
Awesome.
She was a great coach and a mentor. To look at me now, you wouldn't realize I was very, in one aspect, very confident, on one side, but on the other side, also very, I don't want to say fearful, but like concerned about what other people thought, you know what I mean? And in the industry, she really helped me overcome some of the things that independent salespeople and commission-based salespeople struggle with. Like I'd call somebody to ask them something, and then I didn't want them to answer the phone, because in direct sales, it felt very personal. When it's one-on-one sales, it's like, it almost feels like rejecting you and not the offer. And she really helped condition my mindset to understand the dynamics of sales. And, that was because she called me like almost every day, 10, 15 minutes. We had a day, like, what did you do today? How did it go? How did your party go last night? How many orders did you get? How many future bookings did you get? How many recruits did you talk to? And it made me start thinking of the things I needed to focus on in my business. And without her coaching and mentoring, I don't think I would have been as successful or as impactful as in that business. And if I wouldn't have succeeded, I don't know, what would have happened to the trajectory of my career. So I'd say those are the three people who've had the most impact. So
very good. Influential people. What's the best time of day that you get your most work done?
Early morning.
Early morning.
I'm usually spent by 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Like, if you want to have a powerful meeting or you have me think about stuff in the afternoon, I'm much better in the morning. I get up at 5 a.m. I'm a firm believer in the 5 a.m. club, and just taking some time in the morning to exercise, work out, to do some personal development, some meditation, prayer, reflection in the morning, and then start my day as early as possible. And then get most of my heavy lifting done before noon, like anything that I really have to use brain power for.
There you go. Awesome.
So,
what is something people seem to misunderstand about what you do?
What is something people tend to misunderstand about what I do? That is a thoughtful question. It's hard to say because I don't know what people perceive, right? I would have to say a lot of people are unclear. Like, what do you do? I know she does something, like she does some sort of a speaking or training. I think people misunderstand or just don't understand, like what you asked me in the beginning, how can people work with me? What do I do? And, they can work with me by hiring me as a personal coach. They can hire and be part of my mastermind program with a small group training. They can hire me to speak, train, or talk to them or create programs for their company. And I think the other thing is people also, I think, misunderstand that they still, because I was in a direct selling network marketing organization, I was actually actively looking and hiring people and recruiting people to sell and work for me. And I think people still misunderstand. They think that I'm still in some sort of a business where I'm actually recruiting people to join my business as like a multi-level or direct sales opportunity, which I do have some great referrals that I give people, but really right now with my Jack Concrete Coating company, we're a company, I'm hiring employees. We have some commission only salespeople. And then with my coaching, training, and development company, The Selling Edge, we really support the space. And I have some referral programs that I'm a part of, but I'm really not actively building a downline or an organization or a network marketing group with any company. So I think maybe that
That makes sense. Yes.
some things people just aren't sure about, what we do. People who are self-employed, right? Because it's so easy, like, oh, I work for a company, and when you work for them, they like know right away. A lot of times when you have these flexible roles, like you and I have, people are always like, so what do you actually do?
Yes, I've had that question from time to time.
Right?
What is the number one takeaway that people experience by working with you?
What is the number one takeaway? Well, what I hope they take away is the confidence and belief in themselves that they can do it. And the number one takeaway is that they become, that they achieve their goals to become more productive and earn more money, because I've helped them unlock some of the things that were blocking and preventing them from moving forward in their business. So when they leave me, they feel empowered, inspired, and they're able to lead themselves, because I truly believe, and that's one of the things, I wrote a chapter about it in a book called Leading Ladies. It was 22 women who shared their stories. But I really feel in order for us to be a good leader and lead, other people, not only in business, but in our community and our families, we have to learn how to discipline and lead ourselves. So I really try to help people focus on opportunities and ways that they can lead themselves to achieve what they want to achieve, and to create boundaries and opportunities for themselves. Because I feel if they're successful, productive, and happy, you become then that authentic person that can help other people do the same.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
So, yeah.
What's the best compliment you have ever received?
The best compliment. Wow. The best compliment, that I raised a really beautiful daughter.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, that my daughter, so to me, that's the biggest.
She turned out great.
She turned out to be a good human.
Awesome. Speaking of your family, how would your family describe what you do?
Oh my goodness. My family, I don't know if they would know how to describe what. All we know is she's up there working all the time somewhere. How would my family describe what? It is interesting. I know my daughter describes me as I don't want to say, like, I think she looked at me as like a celebrity in the industry, like direct selling industry, in a sense of that her perception was like, when I would take her to travel or conferences or trips, I would know everybody, because I was a top leader, and she would be like, how come everybody knows Mom? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so, but she would just say that I'm a successful entrepreneur, businesswoman. And my family, my husband would probably say that I know how to talk to anybody and sell anything. So he would describe me as kind of the sales guru,
sales leader in your industry.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. So that's how. Yeah, but it is interesting, right? All they say is like, "Oh my goodness, what's Mom doing now?"
Awesome. So if some of our viewers would like to get in contact with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
They can follow me on either Instagram or Facebook at Kathleen Vicenzotti. My handle for Instagram is at K Vicenzotti for Instagram. And then if they want some more information too, I actually have a website, KathleenVicenzotti.com is a great way they can schedule a one-on-one with me, just to say hey and see if there's an opportunity for us to collaborate and work together. And then if anybody is interested, we have an upcoming 2-day income intelligence event is going to be January 21st and 22nd. So you could go incomeintelligenceevent.com. And actually, Lisa, if you'd like, I can give you a guest pass link. And that way, if any of your guests decide that they want to come, we can know that they came from your show. And incomeintelligenceevent.com.
Awesome. Well, Kathleen, I want to thank you for being my guest today. This was amazing to learn more about what you do and your journey. of where you started and where you are now. It's
Yeah.
really, really a great journey. So if anyone wants to contact Kathleen, sign up for her program she's doing in the near future, just I will post more information. So you send me all your information, I will post it with this video.
I appreciate it, Lisa. And it was just such a pleasure. And it just shows you the power of connection. And I know you're the networking expert. And,
Thank you.
I just want to say thank you for how much I've learned from you, especially coming from, a business owner and, working corporate and having different roles throughout my career. Networking was something that I think I always did just organically, but not intentionally. And I love that you have programs that can help people network intentionally. And I don't think I would be here today if it wasn't for us networking and just connecting and reaching out. So thank you again for what you do in your business and how you're inspiring others and giving them the tools to really change the trajectory of their business and helping them unlock some of the powerful of networking. So
thank you.
Thank you.
We're signing off. I'll see you again next month with another guest.
Sounds great. Thank you, Lisa.